Excited?
JJ, everybody's excited.
Justin Coleman wanted to get his name in the newspaper.
No question, as he should. He deserves
his hands on the ball a lot.
29 yards for the touchdown. He was trying to get his name on the morning announcements. Kirk Cousins, he was bumming after that, and rightfully so. His team, sent to 6-1 with the 21-7 loss. And Cousins, 20 of 33, but Russell Wilson, 50% passing, 10 of 20, 72 yards and an interception. But at the end of the day, coming away with the win, their fourth straight W. And don't look now, but the Seattle Seahawks making some noise down the stretch, James.
Absolutely, man. It's a dangerous football team. We just seen the highlights. Mm-hmm. We see the type of football they play. They play defense, and they run the lights out the football. And look, that's a recipe for winning. They are going to be in a lot of games. Time of possession is theirs. Don't nobody want to see this team right now, man. Dangerous is playing good football. Like I said, you got a three-headed monster at running back, downhill running. I was watching some of them audibles. I mean, they audible 3-4 times. You think he audibled into a pass, it's 3rd and 10. We finna run it down your throat, think we could pick up the 10 yards. This is a dangerous football team.
Now, we talked a little bit earlier about the run game, but, if you want to make some noise in the postseason, especially down the stretch during the regular season, you have to have a run game, you have to have a defense. And the Seattle Seahawks, they showed us that they have both tonight. MJB.
Well, I think throughout the second half of the season, their defense has traveled, too. Yeah. And there's some teams that have a defense that don't necessarily travel. They play well at home. On the road, they're a little iffy. This team has played well on the road. You went to Carolina and beat Carolina. Mm-hmm. You come back home on Monday night and put this type of effort in. Last week you go and play the Niners. You score on defense with a pick six and all other type of things. Look at these guys fly around.
Yeah, I mean, it should have been a shutout if he would have took a knee.
You're right. But. He scored 21-7. It doesn't matter. But they're doing a great job of flying to the ball. I mean, Bobby Wagner, when they let go of Richard Sherman and then Earl Thomas is hurt and all these different dudes are being let go and moved around, somehow, someway, they found a way to get this team going. And, I mean, Frank Clark, you can't say enough about him, what he's been able to do at an edge rusher to get pressure on the quarterbacks. The way this back end is playing, they're doing a great job.
You talk about this team looking to find ways no matter what, and they did that with the
getting better and better and better and better each week. And now at the end of the season when it's cold.
Yes, this is playoff.
I'm tired. My body don't feel the best. Mm-hmm. And I got this 330-pound man trying to push me around. You gonna break some of these long runs and do some things. And the other thing is your defense is getting rest on the sidelines. And that's the key.
Yeah, Seahawks are winners of 4 straight. The only team in the entire league with a longer winning streak. That's the Dallas Cowboys. Seattle now 8-5, and they have 3 games left. And James, we were talking just a little bit earlier about how good Pete Carroll has been this year. Maybe a Coach of the Year candidate.
I'm with you, Cole.
Okay.
Man, what he's doing with this ball club right now. Mm-hmm. Before the season started, he gave away Richard Sherman. He gave away Bennett. You lose Cam Chancellor. Yes. Earl Thomas holding out, and then he comes back again. These are big-time players, Pro Bowl players. Everybody saying they tanking the season. This is a rebuild. And this team now is one of the teams that don't nobody want to face. Yeah. And you watch them out there fly around, how hard they're playing. That's all about the head coach. That's the mindset of the head coach. He's sending that through his players. And listen, Pete Carroll, Coach of the Year in my book. Frank Reich is doing a great job. I know you're going to want to talk about any, but listen, what he's doing with the players he has is unbelievable right now.
Seattle, they have a very good chance to be able to run the table, as you see, at San Francisco versus Kansas City, and then Arizona at the house one more time. And you touched on Frank Clark and what he's been bringing to the table. And our MJ to 7 coming away with that win and giving themselves a 1.5 cushion and the tiebreaker versus the Vikings when it comes to that 5-6 positioning in the NFC playoff push. And as we said, 21-7, the Minnesota Vikings 6-1 and currently scratching their head. They've now lost 3 of the last 5. So James, I ask you, what the heck is wrong with the Minnesota Vikings right now?
The quarterback.
Ooh.
The quarterback, Kirk Cousins. You forget the money. You are shut out.
$1.648 million per game.
Forget the money?
No, don't forget the money.
Oh, okay. Let's not forget the money.
$84 million guaranteed, and you come out, if my guy takes a knee, you shut out. You have 0 points. But the throws. When you watch Kirk, the throws that he is making, it's receivers open. He's not letting the ball go. He's holding it too long. He's taking sacks. But you paid him to come over to win games like this.
To be a game changer.
This is a playoff team. You on the road. You need your quarterback to come out and play at a high level to win games like this. He's holding the ball as receivers are open, turnovers, took sacks. He played bad tonight, and this is a game you needed him to step up and make some plays for the ball club, and he didn't.
Well, like we said, Kirk Cousins gets paid roughly $1.6 million per game, just a little bit more. And 0-7 right now on Monday Night Football, Reggie. Is that a problem when you take a look at the quarterback position for the Minnesota Vikings?
This is one of the things that the Washington Redskins were looking at all last year and the year before that. They kept saying that they wasn't sure if Kirk Cousins was that guy.
Uh-oh.
A lot of people were saying, well, look like Kirk Cousins, he should get paid. Then Washington Redskins like, no.
Don't let Dan Hellie hear you say that.
No, he should. He after seeing the game tonight, he probably say, you know what, maybe they were right.
Right.
But Kirk Cousins, he has to elevate his game a little bit better. Now, his offensive linemen, they struggled tonight also, because every time it was somebody in his face. It was some throws that he should have made.
I don't know about every time.
It was some throws he should have made. But you said $84 million. If he's $84 million guaranteed,
That's a clean pocket right there.
we need to see something happen. You got two of the best receivers in the league
On your team.
One of the best duos, if not the best duo, in this league.
Great defense.
Great defense.
Great.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. $84 million guaranteed.
You had 0 points.
Something's wrong.
Until the last drive of the ball game with 2 minutes left in the game.
Yeah, pretty much insignificant garbage time, quote unquote, type numbers. But you take a look at the run game as well. I mean, just 77 yards on 21 attempts. It didn't seem as if Dalvin Cook could really get going in this one as well, MJD.
Well, I think we heard Frank Clark talk about it, saying that.
That's what they said. They want to run
that's
the
what
ball.
they said. They want to run the ball. So we're going to stop the run and force you to throw it, right?
Bulletin board material.
Yeah.
Let's get our game plan away before we even.
Well, I think the biggest thing, though, when you look at this whole picture is you can't buy championships in this league.
No.
Okay.
You can buy them in the NBA.
Yes.
Can you?
All right, the Warriors haven't done it, but the Cavs and the
Sounds like you got
Heat.
from the
You got to keep it
Bay
there.
And you feel me, JJ? But I'm saying, but you can do it in baseball, right? Cole, you can do it in baseball. The Yankees, they always try to get the high-priced guys. That's what they do.
He's a Cardinals fan.
But anytime, the
don't
Cardinals
buy. We don't buy.
Oh, I don't know. But anytime, because I don't watch baseball, but anytime you try to buy a championship in football, it never works.
Mm-hmm.
We saw the Eagles try to put a dream team together. We've seen the Washington Redskins try to put a dream team
So it ain't
together.
going to work for the Rams, is what you're telling us.
The Rams ain't putting no team together.
okay.
They have a lot of homegrown guys.
All right.
Trades.
A lot of
Right?
guys they got this offseason.
But what I'm saying is that the quarterback position is the most important piece there, because you have to be in tune with everybody. You play with Aaron Rodgers. You play with Peyton Manning. I play with a lot of guys. When you don't have consistency, I'm serious. When you don't have consistency and those guys being able to be around each other a lot, you're going to get those mishaps that you see where Adam Thielen is
That's
wide
what I was-
open in the end
exactly what I was gonna
zone,
get
but you're
to.
forcing the root off. Right? You got to be able to trust and understand, like, okay, if I see this guy covered, I have to trust that my backside guy on the backside post is going to be open. And when he's there, I'm going to throw it to him. Yeah. They don't have that trust right now, and it's because, there's so much pressure right now because of the money he's getting. We're always going to look at the money.
Yeah.
It's a guaranteed contract.
Yeah.
Last year you went 13-3, Cole.
Yeah, that's true.
You're 6-1.
I want to say this, though. You came out and you said they have to stop the run. The Seattle defense came out saying we are stopping the run. And for you to have an $84 million quarterback back there, and they selling out to stop the run, which means you got one-on-one with Diggs and Thielen out there, and you have 0 points. That shows that the defense is basically saying Kirk Cousins can't beat us. And when you bring in a guy that's worth $84 million, he should be able to beat a defense and win a game.
It cracks me up when I hear people say, like, well, he was going to get paid anyways. Well, he don't have to get paid by us.
Yep.
Because guess what that $84 million could have went to? An offensive line.
Yeah.
But guess what it could have went to? Helping out on the defense.
And they still ain't got Barr locked up yet.
You got a lot of pieces, young pieces you need to get locked up on this team that a big chunk of that cap is going to Kirk Cousins, and he has to play like that. Expectations are in hand, and he's not meeting them.
Yeah, and the Seattle Seahawks looking to lock things up as they set their sights on the post.